walking up to people and watching them freak out. It's hilarious.
I don't think I ever
All
found
right.
that.
Well, if,
You've got to find, I think his name is Kilton, and he'll sell you like a bokoblin mask, false
yeah.
mask. You have to beat X amount of divine beasts before he'll actually have the Dark Link set
I see.
available.
I didn't want those masks, so I just didn't buy them. And I never went back.
His monster ingredient thing is decent.
Alright, this seems
but yeah, no,
crazy.
I
Let's just do this.
mostly just did it because I can be a completionist sometimes.
Yeah.
okay. Okay. All right. Since everybody's ready, when we last left our heroes, you guys had managed to make your way back to the city of Walden after taking Squib on an adventure to get the mask removed that he had placed upon his face. It was you guys found yourselves in the upper city, which you had not been in before, from the teleportation circle that brought you here. After waiting until nightfall and doing a little sneaky sneak, you flew over the wall. A little bit of a ruckus was made, although it seemed like nobody noticed, but there was a solitary figure that was watching you from on top of the wall. You then decided that you needed to find a place to rest, so you headed towards the Craftsman's Guild, which was the closest place to where you escaped the upper city, and that was when a Draco Hydra came busting out of a building and attacked you guys. You defeated it. This one seemed to grow its heads back a lot easier than the last Hydra you faced. And at the end of the combat, it was revealed that the Dark Wizard is just kind of playing games with you guys, sending different monsters of his that he's created to test them against one of his old creations. And it was after that he left, but it seemed like he was the one that was watching you guys. You guys made it to the Craftsman's Guild, talked to some people, found out that they don't really have rooms there for people to stay in, but they sent you to an inn that is nearby called the Board Cavern. Upon entering the Board Cavern, you met a crotchety gnome character who sold you some rooms and sold you some alcohol, and then went into the back and never gave you your keys, so you followed him, and it was at that point where you found an older halfling gentleman, tied up, and the back door was open and the gnome was gone, with all the gold that he made you pay for his alcohol. Come to find out, the alcohol was just dirty water, not exactly booze. And the halfling gentleman was, in fact, the real owner of the inn. Squib really wanted to try to chase after the gnome, but he had a pretty good head start, so the rest of the team said, no, we probably won't ever find him if he doesn't want to be found. You paid for the actual rooms this time, which was considerably cheaper than what you paid the first time, and went to bed. And as you all wake up in the morning, you can decide what to do with the day.
Squid did vow that he was going to peel that gnome like a banana.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was just a normal guard.
I mean, I'd explain that you guys hadn't seen any Inquisition soldiers. The only guards that were up above were the mechanical ones marching around, and it wasn't one of those. Yep. Like the entire army is out dealing with Whisper's Edge and Irikosh currently.
Speaking of which, we should probably go help those places.
It's at this point, Arendia, where you hear a voice in your head that you're not entirely familiar with. It says, Arendia, this message is from Lord McMichaels. There is something urgent he needs to discuss with you. Please return to Broken Spirits as soon as possible. That's it. Nope. You can always respond to the sending message. It'll send it to the person who sent it to you. It's just Lord McMichaels doesn't have that magic, so he used one of his spellcasters to contact you. Basically. I'm gonna say no response. They don't send you another message. But you also surmise that you are the party leader. Okay. Yeah, you see the old halfling gentleman. He's there. He's got there's like a cooking stove that's behind the bar, and he's like standing up on a stool, and he's looks like he's grilling up some eggs. You can smell bacon sizzling on the grill. He's like, "Hey, good morning. Would you like some breakfast, my good sir?" Very well, very well, very well. Would you was your name I think Arendia? He's like, "Well, I have a letter for you." Huh? He pulls it out from his like his like lapel and hands it towards you. It was given to me by the shifter gentleman that you came in with. Okay.
A white powder falls from it. Please roll a con save.
Wow.
It's laced with the most deadly poison that you guys got from the Skaven kingdom.
That would feel so long ago, dude. Oh, wow.
Do you open it and read it? Okay.
Yeah, I load Vestralor up into my bag.
Okay.
And then I just head down as well. And I don't really care if Squib is awake or not.
I mean, yeah, Squib would head down as soon as he woke up.
Okay. Yeah. The older gentleman, he's got breakfast cooking and offers it to you guys. Randy, the breakfast for you is just how much did I charge you for the room? 5 silver or 2?
There's 2.
1 silver for breakfast. Didn't I tell you guys that you should have lower denominations in the lower city?
Yeah, but we're
Marcus,
bad
they've
at all
already
the
gotten in
things.
trouble by flashing too much coin in a place that is destitute and not very well.
To be fair,
Not
that was
just
one
once,
of them. They
but
also got
twice.
somebody killed for it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The curse of being a successful adventurer.
Yeah, Arendia tried to sleight of hand some kids 10 gold, and he rolled a 1. So he dropped it on the ground, and all the peasants just like swarmed and started beating the crap out of each other. That's how poor the lower city is. After Rog told them not to show how much money
We
they
were
had.
told several times, but not only by Rog, but I think there was a couple NPCs that were like, "Yeah, no, keep your money hidden." We did not do that.
Yeah, Rourke told us not to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, everyone convenes downstairs, except for Wolf.
Oh. I don't remember him buying a room either.
Squib will open it.
Okay.
Can Squib read?
Yes, Squib can read.
Yes.
Okay.
In this edition, barbarians aren't illiterate.
Well, I was more so wondering if you had 6 intelligence or not.
He does.
Oh,
I have 11.
okay.
He's not super dumb.
That's more than 6.
I did not write out the letter because I was going to role play it, but then I was like, you know what, letter makes more sense. It basically surmises that Wolf has grown weary of the fight, and after finding his sister, he wants to spend as much time with her as he can. So he is going to go join her on the crew of uh, the Broken Vendor. Yes, the Broken Vendor, which and spend some time with her. Uh, if he finds himself back this way, he will try to get in contact with you, just to leave it kind of open because Caleb said he might want to try to come back and play at some point. So
Well,
I mean,
damn.
Squib will read it aloud, and then be like, "I can't say I blame him. You guys are kind of trouble magnets."
I think some of us more than others there, Squibby.
yes, that's the guy
You're not
who
wrong.
causes
You're
the most
not.
trouble.
You're not wrong, Rog. You're not wrong. And then Squib will turn to the barman and go, that gnome from last night. What was his name again?"
He always called himself Whittle.
Like the action of just carving down a stick?
I believe so.
Or someone with a speech impediment trying to say the word little.
I never knew, honestly, and I don't think that's his real name, but that's what he always called himself.
Do you know any more about him?
No, I don't. I always just kind of chased him off whenever he would try to peddle his wares in front of my my inn.
Vipers.
Who left?
Yeah, I don't know either. I just saw you do it. You're the group leader, so. Yeah, he did.
Well, yeah, he also got it from Harold, I think.
Sounds about right.
I'm sure we'll drum something up.
Or
We got Sizan.
Does Sizan really count?
yes.
I'm sure he factors into the encounter balancing.
Yes. Squib. Imagine if you didn't have him as your designated healer. Poor Rog would be like, I can't keep up with
I
the
would have been
damage.
dead a long time ago. What this place was the Board Inn?
Board
Or
cavern,
cavern.
Board Tavern.
Cavern
like a cave.
with a C.
Are you silly? Caution is my middle name. Hey, you silence your harp, young man.
It is
Anyway,
silent when you're not plucking it.
For the other two, if you wanted some breakfast, it's a silver each.
I would order something. I don't know what, but
It's not expensive here, but it's it's fair food.
I will hand him 10 copper so that he doesn't think I'm rich.
He already knows that you guys are pretty well off because Arendia has thrown in like 3 gold, at least.
True.
But it seems like he doesn't care all that much how much you have. Rates are the same for everyone.
Right.
Pretty
So
based.
What? I did, yeah.
oh no, I saw that after I asked. I was making notes on just so I could make sure to remember to murder Whittle in a very gruesome fashion. All right, now to broken spirits then. We could go north and around, swing by the Huntsman's Guild, and then straight down to the Broken Spirits. Because I mean, either way, it's kind of a long. It's a long way there. I figure
Yeah.
if we go the northern route, we can at least kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
It's a bit longer, but it's worth it.
Okay.
And also get paid for killing it.
Hydra?
Yeah, we got paid for killing that Hydra. And then I'm pretty sure we could get a bounty from the Huntsman's Guild for killing this one. I believe that's what one of the wardens was saying.
Yep, because it was abandoned. Anyway, you guys head towards the Huntsman's Guild? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, unless there's anything you want to do in the interim, you make it without incident. Takes you about 3 hours, 3.5 hours to get there. Oh wait, other way around. About 5.5 hours. I thought it was less than halfway there, but I wasn't looking at the map. So it's a little more than halfway around. Okay. Yeah, there's a couple people behind the.
It's only like 400 feet away.
Uh-huh. Yep. There's a Goliath behind the counter. He's like, "Can I help you?" I don't think he's actually here right now.
Who's that? Who's that mage fellow we could talk to? Because we talked to him already. I can't remember his name.
I remember there was
Do
a spicy
you-
tiefling lady here.
What? No.
The one that was in the library that Squib was hitting on. That didn't go anywhere because Squib's a turd.
Oh, the non-named NPC? Yeah.
Yep, that one. The non-named NPC.
Jeez. I was like, spicy. I was like, there wasn't a
Those
tiefling
are the ones I
master?
remember. I remember the derpy, non-important shit.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, he just kind of looks at you and he's like, can I help you? Oh, okay. He's like, here, fill out this form. Yeah. No, but it's like a generalized form where you name, organization, creature you killed, where said creature is if you do not have it with you. It's basically a general form. This guy does not seem to recognize you or know who you are. And I don't think you guys have proof that you are part of the guild technically, or at
Nope.
least have their favor. And since none of you write down people's names, you can't.
Hey, I just wrote down Whittle's name.
Yeah, good for you.
That's what makes D&D fun. It's boring if everything goes right all the time.
Nope. No names written down ever.
I am taking notes finally.
Yeah, you wrote down the bronze dragons. Good for you.
Yeah.
He's like, uh-huh.
This man gives 0 fucks.
And he believes you not. What the hell is it? What is the hell is a Dracohydra? Remember that these are experiments of the Dark Wizard, so they're not normal monsters. The Iron Scale Hydras exist, but the Iron Scale Hydra is what threw everyone off, is because it wasn't a normal mutation that they've ever seen before. And a Hydra with multiple dragon heads, probably even weirder.
Yeah, I'll just start filling it out.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Dear Lord Corin.
Come to find out, Squib's got proficiency in calligraphy tools.
I forgot
Left
about that.
handwriting in the group. No, Squib doesn't actually. I don't think I
Oh.
have any tool proficiencies whatsoever.
No, but Rug is a diplomat, so like he's good at writing stuff.
Yeah, just fill it out. Instead of the group name, I just write our names.
Sure.
So I don't think we should be going by Vipers anymore.
You guys have never renamed your team. In the 2 years that we've been playing this campaign, you still refer to yourself as your bandit persona from episode 1, session 1.
To be fair, Vipers sounds cooler than what I came up with when we were doing Horde of the Dragon Queen.
I don't.
Granted, I
understand
was
that reference.
really drunk. Marcus was the DM. Do you remember the name of the group?
I don't. It has been a hot minute.
It was the Sword's Shield. We were the shield to the Sword Coast.
That's right.
Because it was like 2:00 in the morning and I was shit faced.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded cool.
You're the
only one
legends.
in the whole realm.
The Squib and the Squibbettes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah, let's name it for the second newest character. Randy and the Shitters.
Hey, our shitter is no longer in the party.
You know,
The
if we're
Jelly
gonna name
Bottom
it the
Boys.
Problems, it's probably going to be Rog and the Problems, Randy.
True, because I don't think Rog's really kind of screwed us over or done anything terrible.
Or burn down a farm full of innocent people.
Yeah.
Or turned into a dragon in the middle of town.
City.
True.
All right. Enough throwbacks. You fill out the form and you hand
Yep.
it in, and he just kind of reads it over and he's like, "All right, well, you can collect your bounty in about a week if it gets approved."
Thank you very much.
Anything else I can help you with today, gentlemen? I am not privy to his schedule currently. No. Oh, of course.
All right. See ya.
I wonder how many people that man deals with a day that just walk in and be like, I killed a ginormous cockatrice the size of a cow.
Probably a lot.
Pay me. Oh,
We
we
totally
totally would too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. It's, you know, you guys got up 8 o'clock, ate breakfast around 9, so it's approaching 5 in the evening. It's getting into the deeper days of fall, so it's dusk is approaching, but not here yet. And you reach Broken Spirits.
So Aurelia told us to be careful.
Yep.
Are there windows?
Yeah.
If I look in the window, do I see familiar faces?
The windows have curtains drawn.
All right, I'm just gonna open the door and walk in.
Okay.
Squib will follow behind.
Okay. Yeah, you guys walk inside. The interior is lit, and you see Rourke standing behind the counter. There is Lord McMichaels is sitting at a table with what looks to be an older gentleman across from him. Rourke, from what you guys can see, has a very, very distrusting look on his face and is just staring at the two at the table, and just his body language screams extreme agitation and distrust. You also do notice that the rest his normal group of friends that he's got as extra security are not in the room. And Remy sees you guys enter. He looks up and he slowly stands up and he whispers something to the old man and then he walks towards you guys. He's like, he holds out his hand. Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
I shake his hand.
Now, what I'm about to tell you is probably shouldn't leave this room, but there is someone here who can turn the tide of the war in our favor. But you all need to keep an open mind and please hear what he has to say before you condemn him. All I ask is that you trust me.
Well, we're not without our faults, so.
I mean, I tried to rob these guys the first time I saw them, so I mean, there's
True.
that.
Tried to rob who?
I was in it with that one thief. On the river?
On the river, right. I thought you were talking about Lord McMichaels. I was like, you never met him until you got...
No. No, Squid really doesn't know who the fuck Lord McMichaels is.
Okay. Sure. If you want to let Rog take the... Okay. All day. Not like this. He doesn't respond.
Oh,
Okay. So the older gentleman, he stands up and he turns around towards you, and he doesn't look familiar. He's older, and his long gray hair is held loosely in a ponytail down his back, and he is beardless, and the lines of his face are more frown than smile. Like he has frowned more in his life than smiled. His eyes are a piercing blue, and you guys can feel that Sizan stiffens up behind you. And there's a slight tickle in the back of your mind. Like, but you can't place your finger on it. It takes just a moment, and then you recognize that that tickle is fear. This stooped older gentleman's aura almost sends you guys into a fight or flight mode. It takes a couple minutes, or not minutes, but moments. And then you realize that you have felt this fear before. In the presence of the Lich King. His voice is raspy and he says, "Hello, my old friends."
hello. I don't believe we've met.
I
we
guarantee I
have.
haven't met you yet.
If we have, forgive me. I do not recognize you.
We met upon the mountains outside of Deep Hole.
Oh yeah, right, I haven't. Who is this guy?
I only remember Bart, but he wasn't. We didn't meet him in the mountains.
He chuckles. He's like, "Yes, I offered to allow you to join me."
Hang on. Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yes.
You are the very enemy we have been trying to thwart this whole time.
I am not your enemy.
I'm gonna incite the shit out of that.
Okay.
Or at least try to.
Good.
19?
19. Yeah. He seems pretty straightforward.
So you're the Lich King.
Indeed. And Miscus has betrayed me.
And is that
You
supposed
took-
to make us friends?
No, not friends, but enemy of my enemy.
And what about after?
All I wish to do is rest.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
You see, Miscus has taken everything from me.
It's a common theme these days, isn't it?
When he first released me, he promised that he would use my power to destroy his enemies. And then the undead would be granted their freedom. And given their own land here in Boergenth. But that has not come to pass. He betrayed me and killed everyone that I brought to Severster. So, I released the ones I did still control that were back in Vilgen. I knew it was a dangerous task to release that many whose minds had been shattered by my power. But it was their only chance. I knew there would be mindless undead, but there would be some who retained their past selves. And I hoped that those ones would be the ones to win in the end. And it turns out they were. And he looks over at Remy and he's like, and the undead have their freedom and a place currently, but their lives are also in danger.
Does that line up with everything Remy told us when we met him?
Yes, as far as Remy was released from Lich King's grasp, and a bunch of the undead retained their memories and became the reborn. But they had to fight a bloody battle in Vilgen against the undead who were still mindless killing monsters, and they succeeded. And then he had a dream. I think I explained to Villatrak sent him a dream that he needed to come help. And so he brought about 1,000 of his reborn soldiers down and met you guys on the river outside of Walden and rescued you from that Inquisition patrol. But yes, Vilgen is currently a reborn home, basically.
So they reclaimed it.
Yes. The reborn, the ones that retain their memories, reclaimed it from the other undead and turned it into basically their own place. But Miscus doesn't know that yet, because Miscus doesn't know that the Lich King released all his undead thralls. The Lich King continues. He's like, the king promised that he would destroy my phylactery and end my torment. But he betrayed us and killed everything that I worked for. So I am here. I am here to help you defeat him if I can.
And then you're just gonna let us destroy your phylactery?
It is all I have ever wanted. And in order for you to trust me, I must tell you my story. Unless you wanted to say something, Kyle.
I
can.
Oh.
Or indeed. But my power is linked to the amount of undead that I control. The more I control, the stronger I become. I do not have much power left. I have enough to keep up the facade of being the Lich King in front of Miscus, but I really have not much left. A couple of days ago, he keeps me close, but now that I have killed his enemies for him and he has destroyed my army, there's not much I can do. But yes, in the castle.
Can you tell where your phylactery is at all times?
I know the general direction of where it is, but I could
Where is
not
it now?
pinpoint it. It is currently in the castle.
So he's here then. He's not.
Yes, Miscus is here. He is not in any of his campaigns currently. If you could somehow get the phylactery from him and promised to end my torment and be true to your word, I could then raise the dead here and use them to defeat the Inquisition.
And then once we defeat you, the undead you raise are just left to cause chaos in the streets.
Well, I would release. My original plan was to release all the undead that I controlled, and the ones that retained themselves and remembered who they were would remain free, but the ones who lost their minds and became mindless killing monsters, I would retake control of them. And then I would have the ones who retained who they were eliminate the rest, for they have no place in this world.
Oh, we can agree on that.
And that is what my plan would be this time. I would do the same, and those that deserve to live and remember who they are would live, and then they could help us dispatch the rest of the undead who would not fight.
Can I do another insight check to see if he's being honest about this specific part of his plan?
Sure.
19 again.
He feels pretty straightforward, but you also haven't heard his story.
True. So you just want us to kill you at the end after everything's done.
Yes, I have never wanted this.
Indeed.
From Boergenth? Ah, I see you have read The False Truth. History is written by the victors. No, I died after the city went away. Yeah, well, that's what you read. That's not what he's saying happened. No, you did fine. You did fine. Yeah, that's the one thing that you did right. But he's telling you that that history is not what actually happened. But that history is written by the victors, not what actually happened, is what he's saying. Okay. He's like, well, we must go back to the beginning of my story. My name is Marvin Waltendorf, and it is true that the city that I lived in was consumed by a ritual that eventually made me into a creature of immortal power. Something went terribly wrong. You see, our city was was dying of an illness that we could not cure. We did not know what it was. So when a benevolent god came down and offered us a solution, we had exhausted all other solutions. He said that the ritual that we performed would eliminate sickness in the city, and everyone would be cured. Turns out we were very, very wrong. The god was not a god at all, but a demon lord. And all he wanted was more souls to suck down to hell. He corrupted the ritual, which made the sickness even worse, and began killing people at an alarming rate. My family and I, everyone was dying. And I had to save them all at any cost. I refused to let this demon lord win. I found an ancient magic deep within the ground below the city. A font of magic as ancient as the world itself. Using the magic as a power source, I used a spell of immense power to send the sickness-stricken city to another plane. I chose a plane where my people could potentially get help. And the whole city went to another plane, leaving a large crater in the ground and depleting the power of the font permanently. I was forced to stay behind to complete the ritual. The demon lord's anger was beyond destructive. He is the one who made me a lich and immortal, and bound my soul to the phylactery. Using the phylactery, the demon lord forced me to destroy cities and lay waste to the realm in order to bolster his domain in hell. But eventually, the realm rallied and banished me, sealing my phylactery, and I slept. And the realm was at peace. And he looks at you guys and he said, "Whoa, what is my Word document did something weird." He's like, "I know there is no reason for you to trust me. But if any of you can look into my mind, I will not resist."
Squib turns his head to Arendia.
Can I insight check that whole story?
Sure.
That is my last one, I promise. Especially because I rolled a 7.
Yeah, I mean, he seems pretty straightforward.
Do you have detect thoughts?
Yeah, detect thoughts, and you have to dive deeper, which means they have to roll a wisdom save to resist it. And it allows you to read people's minds. He said he wouldn't resist it, no. He nods. I will not resist your magic. Okay. And as you enter into his thoughts, it's very, very forward in his mind, the story he just told you. And the first thing you see is a very happy family. You can see through the eyes of Marvin, and you see his gentle wife. Getting up there in age as he is, he has 6 children of varying ages and even a couple of grandkids. The city is a marble city built throughout a mountain range, but there are sick people in the streets begging for money. Marvin can be seen helping people with his magic as much as possible. The view cuts to his tower, and the landscape around the city is much different to the place they live today. and they can see the benevolent god who comes to them and tells them that they can cure the sickness. He looks like a celestial type being. The city was in dire straits, so they agreed to the ritual that the god asked them to do. Once the ritual is completed, then the false god reveals himself and his true intentions. It turns out that it was Grazd. The new sickness tore through the population quite quickly. It was transferred by touch, and then the sickness would take hold in the hands, and lines of black plague would travel through the body until their body had become a nasty black ichor. Once contracted, the sickness took a little over 2 days to kill someone, and there was no cure. It flashes to a middle-aged gentleman. Arendia recognizes this man from the view of his family. The sickness has become visible in his hand and starts creeping along his arm. Another flash, and it shows an immense font of magic below the city, with Marvin channeling its power into a massive circle of plane transfer. The ritual takes hold, and the city vanishes, leaving him kneeling next to the depleted font in a massive crater where the city used to be. The landscape looks vaguely familiar, as if this is how the country of Boergenth was carved out of the mountain range. A portal opens near him, and Grazd steps through, anger lining his normally neutral face. Marvin looks like he wants to fight back, but his arcane strength is depleted. Grazd locks him in the necklace and makes him an immortal being of the undead. The memories then cut to a large countryside, but the landscape is charred and blackened for miles. There are thousands of mortal soldiers of different armors and liveries. There are 7 kings standing there in a semicircle: elf, human, dwarf, halfling, centaur, minotaur, and orc. The Lich King kneeling in the center of the field, in the middle of a spellcasting circle of some sort. There are multiple mages surrounding the casting circle, chanting in unison. The Lich King looks to the sky and closes his glowing blue eyes as his form dissipates and scatters across the wind. The next thing his memories show is him waking in the crypt, confused and disoriented. He feels the grip of his phylactery and understands what has been commanded of him. He hangs his head in defeat, and in the display of anger, unleashes his power, causing the crypt to explode upwards. He recalls seeing a fleeing group of adventurers. When the night comes, the magic he released in his anger begins to cause corpses to crawl out of their graves. It is a small graveyard, but there are around 500 corpses that have been raised. The Lich King begins to move out of the graveyard and stops. He realizes that the graveyard is surrounded by soldiers. A figure on a war horse comes forward and holds out his phylactery. His face is revealed to be King Miskist Arn, and he speaks, "You will destroy my enemies for me." And Detect Thoughts ends.
Hot damn.
Okay. Yeah, the Lich King, if he could look even more frail and drained than he was before, he looks it. And he kind of like stumbles and sits down in a chair, holding his cane.
Well, I'm glad to know that we didn't cause that explosion, or for you inadvertently, like I thought. And I'll frantically look through my book and start scribbling out the places where I wrote that down.
Okay. I did not get a good look at you when you were leaving, but I did meet you on top of the mountainside. I understand. Same tense, extremely agitated, distrustful self that he's just been standing there, quivering ball of muscle. He's like, I've seen the Lich King. In the upper city, yeah. if you can call it living, being as he's not alive. Sure. Oh, go for it. Yep. 16. I mean, Remy's demeanor is calm confidence. It's just kind of what he's always exuded, even when you met him the first time. Well, you know my personal, my actual name now. You can always have one of Remy's casters send me a message.
Ha! If the dumbass will remember it. Squibble chuckled to himself.
uh, no, he can use it like it's basically a control source. He can't. He doesn't know what his the Lich King's doing per se. He just knows that it's following his orders, and that's how Miskits views it, as it's just a tool. It's not a person. Never was.
Yes.
It's
I
a
don't
it's at
see
this
any common thread connecting him to it. Unless maybe Grast had it and then gave it to him.
It's at this point that the door opens behind you guys with a creak. And a large cloaked figure steps through the doorway, followed by a smaller cloaked figure. As you guys look up, you can see the white and gold steel of Archangel Benjamin's armor peeking out from underneath the cloak.
Hot damn!
And he pulls the hood off of his helmet, and he goes, "My friends, and it tails off. And for the first time since meeting Benjamin, he seems genuinely surprised. Like even when Graz showed up for the book, out of the mirror, and he wasn't this shocked looking. Like you can't see his face necessarily, but like his demeanor just went like, "What the hell?" And you hear him say, "Father?" And you see the Lich King's head snaps up in surprise as well. Benjamin removes his helmet, and for the first time since you met him, you get to see what he looks like. He's a middle-aged face with blue eyes that looks uncannily like the Lich King's. And Erendia, you recognize this man from his memories of his family. And his hair is a dirty blonde that's been swept back under his helmet, and his face is clean shaven. And the Marvin's jaw drops open in surprise. He's like, "Here, Ben? How are you here?" And Benjamin goes over and kneels before his father. He goes, "You saved us, Father. You sent us all to Mercuria, one of the heavenly realms. The Celestials there saved us from the evil sickness that Gruzd put upon us. And you see as he removes the gauntlet from his left hand and rolls up his sleeves. And you can see the spidery black poison has crawled up his forearm almost to his elbow, and it's still there. But around his elbow, what looks like a glowing tattoo. And you can see the poison still crawls up his arm, but once it gets to the line of light, it recoils back away from it and goes back down his arm a little ways. And then a few moments later, it tries again. And he goes, "Our people were given every opportunity to thrive in the heavenly realms. Some became warriors of light, like me. Others became healers and workers. We serve the gods and have ever since you sent us there. Even our city has become one of the largest cities on Mercuria." After this tender moment between father and son that have been separated for tens of thousands of years, Benjamin stands up and turns to you guys once again. He goes, "I have a request of you." He motions for the other cloaked figure to step forward. "This is Mordai der Jaeger. He has been a loyal defender of the realm against the forces of evil for many years. He has been stationed in Hell as my eyes and ears, but his cover was blown recently, and I had to pull him out. His knowledge of Hell and demons will be instrumental in the coming days against Gruzd and the demons who attempt to break through to this realm." Marcus, if you would like to describe your character.
So, as I pull back my hood, you see a bronze-skinned tiefling with messy red hair, wearing leather armor and coal black eyes. He nods to you and says, "Hello. As Lord Benjamin has said, I am Mordai. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Hi, I'm Squib. As a little 2 foot tall kobold just kind of waves.
It's nice to meet you too. I don't. This is a lot to take in.
I agree. I was not expecting this.
Was anybody?
I know one person in the room.
That being Benjamin, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we only know a few people, so don't feel left out.
Well, Benjamin, you are coming in off the tails of your father here, who we've been trying to destroy for a couple of months. Offering to assist in the current conflict with the king. But he wants us to kill him after. But he wants us to kill him after.
Well, I have not seen my father in 100,000 years. But if he is who you say he is, then I can understand his desire to move on from this life.
You said the king is small potatoes. I imagine that's in regards to the Grast problem.
Yes, there is a demon lord upon this realm.
Sounds like it's not the first time.
That and the king would probably make a very small potato.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Rog, you know of the Heaven and Hell War, so yes, demons have been on this plane before.
Yeah, but if the king kills all of the all of the areas of light in Boergenth, then it will likely fall to Grast much faster. And he is currently targeting what little light there is left in the country.
And the dragons we talked to said that they were gonna like go all scorched earth and annihilate everything if all the light faded.
And I do believe
I can
them.
understand that. Yes.
While you're here, Benjamin, we don't really know how to proceed. There's an assault happening on Irikosh as we speak, and the world tree is burning. And we have no means of air combat, so we called in some dragon friends we know.
For
But I
Irikosh,
am
but
afraid for Irikosh, yeah. But I'm afraid that they will not get there in time, or that we won't get there in time. And then, either of those two things aside, the world tree is still burning, and we don't want that. Do you
And
know
what would
if-
you like me to do?
Well, I was wondering if you knew anything that might help us, point us in the right direction. Our Leviathan friend might not be in the area, so he might not be able to douse the world tree. If he even could at all.
I can tell you that there is not much that I can do for you.
because
The
you're
heavenly
busy.
realms deal with demons and incursions from other realms. What is happening in Irikosh and Whisper's Edge is mortals fighting mortals.
Yeah.
We do seem very adept at that.
All right. Well, Rog or guys, what can we do to assist you, Mordai? Or would you like to assist us?
Lord Benjamin brought me here to aid you in your quests.
Oh, that's right. That was just said. I was listening. It's fine.
I would say that I am most concerned with anything that threatens the stability of this realm. Mortal affairs are trivial matters, but you mentioned something about lights and the world tree burning. These seem very important.
Yeah, like Rog said, we met this whole let's call them a fleet of bronze dragons, and they said that they would intervene if the whole country was engulfed in darkness, and there's only a few points of light, and that's what we're kind of focusing on right now is the Orc City, the elves to the north, and whatever not evil presence there is in Walden. So, if the whole country is shrouded in darkness, then it likely will be very easy for a demon lord to come and take it over quickly. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Welcome to the middle of the shit show that is the Legends of Boergenth campaign.
We're a
To be fair, the other one is also in kind of the middle of a shit show.
Not as
I
much
mean-
as this one.
True.
I'll say welcome to the team. We're a fucking disaster.
That came in at like Luke, I'm your father moment in the story. I feel like a new member of the team is sort of just like a side note to this whole shebang.
It happens more often than you think, don't worry.
The main protagonist since the beginning turns out to not be the main protagonist, and the father of the celestial being they've been helping since near the beginning.
Yeah, one of our biggest support NPCs, we just found out, is the kid of our mortal enemy.
Damn.
And we found out that we didn't free him like we thought.
Yay! We're less bad than we thought.
Little
I
Little-
mean, maybe.
little backstory, Marcus. First, I think what was it?
Small
Session
victories.
was it session 4, Ben? Maybe session 3. We
I thought it was session 1.
session 1
It
was
was-
it?
It was like 2.
2, yeah. We went into session 2. Most of us are brand new to play. All of us are brand new to playing. We go into a crypt to complete a simple task of finding a piece of treasure. We spent way too much time standing in the middle of the crypt in various places discussing how we were going to divide up loot. And so the crypt exploded and we released the Lich King. And we thought it was all our fault until today.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was fun.
And that was like 2.5 years ago.
That was
Jesus.
Yep.
I was not a part of those shenanigans.
October of 2020.
October 2020. Yep.
Yeah.
When we first started.
Almost 3 years ago.
A little over 2. 2 and 3
2
months.
and 3 months, yeah. So what's your areas? What are your areas of expertise, Mordai?
Stalking and slaying enemies from other realms who attempt to cross into our plane of existence.
You like to shoot your allies in the back.
And I realistically don't spend much time around other people. All of this is rather new for me.
Alright, so I won't be standing in front of you. Got it.
We had a friend who was really, really good at shooting us in the ass.
He rolled nat ones like you wouldn't believe.
What's crazy, guys, is I told him what the party comp was made up of, not what he was replacing, and he picked Horizon Walker Ranger. And the Horizon Walker subclass is literally they defend this plane from extraplanar evils. And I was like, dude, that is so perfect. Plus, you're replacing a ranger, so they're not losing anything.
Nice.
Except maybe a few arrows in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
he
see
has
how-
just as much compunction to roll natural ones without advantage as
I don't
the
know.
rest of you.
I don't know. Caleb seemed to be unnaturally gifted at rolling nat ones.
We'll see how Roll20 treats me in this campaign.
I was going to say, like, Roll20 was not kind to Caleb.
Yeah, no.
I'm not blaming Caleb in the slightest, but Roll20 was not kind to him.
Yeah,
That's one of those go buy a new set of dice, sir.
he shot a friendly every combat. I want
Almost every combat, yeah.
Almost every combat.
Not even an exaggeration.
Not an exaggeration.
A brief side note, my character in Ben's other campaign is accustomed to being hit by allies in almost every combat.
There we go. There we
Nice.
go.
I've only almost killed you 3 times.
So, yeah.
It's okay. Zach's new character that we introduced got killed 2 hours after we introduced him to the party.
I
Wait,
thought it was like 10 minutes.
Wait, Squawky died?
No, Squawky got completely possessed by the shade,
Oh.
by the fish god, and
And then I
so
introduced a
he
new
ran
character.
off. So I was like, make a new character for the campaign. So he made a wizard with Khan as his dump stat, and on the ship he got swarmed and beaten to death.
So I lost 2 characters in 1 session.
Yikes.
It was great. And now I'm on my 3rd. Hopefully he lives longer. He has more health and more armor, so...
He had a level 5 wizard that had 26 HP that ran towards the enemy and got surrounded.
To be fair, they weren't there yet. I was trying to get rid of the ropes.
Was it worth it?
Not really, because Zix was going to be fun. He wasn't going to be likable, but he was going to be fun.
And like normally, if I down a character, they'll go for somebody else, but there was darkness in the middle of the ship. He was by himself on the front of the ship, surrounded by demons, and they couldn't see anybody else. I was like, they literally would just keep wailing on you and ripping your corpse apart. That's what they would do. So that's what happened.
There were like, what, 5?
Yeah, 5 of them around you, and they couldn't see anybody else on the ship.
Wizard moment.
Yep.
And then, like, afterwards, I was sitting there thinking, like, oh, there are so many spells I could have taken to get me out of that, and I'd have been fine, but nope.
Zach, the only way you're going to keep a character alive is by making a 21 AC paladin again.
You're not wrong.
All right. So we're in Broken Spirits. We just got a lot of information and a new friend.
Yep.
Who's a loner. Perfect. Him and I are going to get along great.
The irony.
He's not being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, my dude doesn't like to talk to anyone about anything.
They just found out. The rest of them just found out, like 2 weeks ago, outside a game, that he's had a girlfriend since like the middle, like 6 months into the session, who is pregnant with his child, and he never told anybody. And
That's great.
she's in Whisper's Edge, one of the surviving elves, and in mortal danger because the tree is burning and the elves are probably going to try to stop it.
And then they're all going to get murdered.
They're all going to die because they don't have the military strength to fight the Inquisition armies.
But all they care about is save the tree or die trying.
Yep. So that's why Erendia is super worried about that problem.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Squib's just sitting here thinking, man, it would be really cool to watch the dragons burn everything.
And Irikosh is under siege from the Inquisition armies, but they sent their airships to support. And so Irikosh doesn't have any airships because all the ones that were friendly to them were destroyed in Sevicern. And so they needed some sort of air support. So they contacted a couple ancient dragons that they've known from the past and asked them to help, and they said they would. So Irikosh might be okay,
because
but they haven't found anybody to help the elves yet. And the elves are currently hiding in Deepholm, which is the former home of the dwarves who rebelled 1,000 years ago and tried to conquer the country. So there's only a small faction of dwarves that still live in Deepholm that are hiding the elves from the Inquisition.
And those are the areas of light we're talking about.
Yep.
Irikosh and the Dwarven city.
Deepholm and a little bit in Walden, because the
Walden.
guys have recruited 2 of the 3 guilds in the lower city to their cause of overthrowing the king. So the light there is growing slightly.
And we were lucky because the dragons that we called hate the king.
They hate the king, but we're terrified of the Lich King. Because the Lich King almost killed one of the ancient dragons. And the other ancient dragon, so there was 2. There was Doravo and Pelisa and their mates. They were defending Sevicern together. And Pelisa almost perished at the hands of the Lich King, so Doravo was terrified. Didn't want that to happen again.
And now we're going to have a complicated conversation with some dragons if we decide to go a certain way.
I mean, I feel the one, well, not one, but the 2 dragons are probably going to do okay at Irikosh. So
And it sounded like Doravo was going to bring more than just Pelisa.
Yeah, it sounded like he had friends.
There's a group of dragons going to Irikosh, so I'm comfortable with letting them just kind of have a heyday without us fucking up their shit. So, I mean, we can go save the tree and your girlfriend.
I had a thought. Have we tried talking to Bart?
Nope.
No.
Who the fuck is Bart?
He's this super powerful druid.
Who is, you know who Bart is.
I know who Bart is.
You played in the campaign with him, with me.
Oh, yeah, Squid has no idea who the fuck Bart is, though. Squid's just like, who the fuck's Bart?
Yeah.
How many more people do you guys know?
He's the nature wizard.
Right.
He might be able to do some water stuff.
Former archdruid, yeah.
He's a very powerful druid man.
But at the same time, that's where he lives anyway. So I feel like if he could do something, he would have already.
Unless
something was keeping him away.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't know the seriousness of the situation.
You also know that the elves don't like Bart at all.
Oh, right. That was, yeah. They banned him from
the Forest of
pretty
Tranquility, which is where the World Tree is.
Mm-hmm.
Squib's gonna walk over to Mordai, kind of lean on his leg and go, "These guys are full of fucking surprises. Sometimes it's really good surprises. Other times it's like opening up a bag, thinking you're gonna get a nice sandwich, and holy shit, somebody shit in your bag."
Usually it's you, Squib.
As, as soon as you touch him, he flinches away. So
Squib's gonna be like, "No, no, no. I have ran into more and more fucked up shit after meeting you guys. I was just sending people up and down the river. And now
You're
I'm
also doing a bit of thievery, if I remember right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That makes sense.
insight.
I mean, nobody technically asked Squib any questions after that shit happened. Everyone was just kind of like, "Oh, that's fine."
No, we did. We were
No,
like,
we
what the
did.
fuck?
Yeah.
Squib was
I don't
running a
remember what came
con
of
with
it,
a
but-
group of bandits on the river where they would rob the people, and then he would heroically fight off the bandits and take them the rest of the way down to Walden, and then when he went headed back up the river, he would get his cut from the bandits.
And
Genius, really.
that's how we met him.
And then I believe the bandit Squib was working with got murdered.
Oh yeah, they got torn apart except for the bandit leader.
Well, they shouldn't have attacked. Sorry, Squib.
They weren't really friends.
Would
Business partners. It
Squib wouldn't be
happens.
able to tell me their names.
so it is
Oh, fuck no.
it's nighttime, right?
It's evening.
Okay.
It has sun hasn't quite gone down yet. While you guys have been standing here discussing what to do, the Lich King and Benjamin have just gone to a corner and have just been talking.
Not the worst sign.
So- Arendi, do you think it's worth reaching out to Bart? I don't remember if him being banished from Whisper's Edge was like a magical thing where he literally couldn't be within the vicinity, or if they just said it and he was not approaching out of respect.
yeah, I don't remember it being a charm thing or and it's like you said, like a protective magic thing. I think it was just they would attack, and he didn't feel like fighting them or something like that.
So maybe if he's still around, we already know the elves have fled Whisper's Edge and are in Deepholm.
All right. I would like
So
to.
he can get in there, no problem, put out the fire on the World Tree, and maybe doing so would put him in the good graces?
This is logical thoughts. I'm going to sending at Bartholomew Maximilian Theodore Augustus Diamantopoulos.
You remember
believe
his name,
He
but
wrote
you
down his
can't
whole name.
remember the guy who we talked to a few sessions ago at the Fighters Guild. Or, no, the Huntsman's Guild.
Yep. I also know this dude's evil apprentice's name.
It's even all the council members. None of you wrote down any of the Huntsman's Guild council members' names.
No.
I remember Gisrin,
I think one of them was a
Why
white
didn't you ask
dragon.
for
Lord.
Gisrin?
because I only now remember him. I didn't remember him at the time.
I remember there was a gnome or a halfling.
Oh, goodness.
No,
That was part of the Thieves Guild.
the
That's the
Halfling
other.
was the Thieves Guild.
No.
I have the
Yeah.
halfling in my notes because I promised him a copy of my book when I finally write it.
There was a shifter and an elf and a dragonborn and a tiefling and a human.
Gorin.
Yeah,
Uh,
Corin. The only reason they remember his name was because he was from session 1 too.
Yep.
And I remember Gisrin specifically because he's the brother of Hisrin, and I remember Hisrin because he was a badass.
Yeah.
He did.
No, well, you don't know.
He could be alive and well in Vilgan.
He could be a
one of.
he could
well,
be a reborn.
He could be alive.
He could be a reborn. Huh.
He could be a reborn dragonborn in Vilgan. You don't know.
Yeah, so I'm going to ascending to this Bartholomew man.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, he should recognize my voice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say, elves have fled Whisper's Edge and Forest of Tranquility. Inquisition is burning World Tree. Please let me know if you can assist.
Response comes back fairly quickly. Oh, hello, my friend. It has been a while. I am in Deepholm,
Ah, shit.
trying to keep the elves from committing suicide against the members of. And that's where it ends because that's 25 words.
It's such a Bart thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
I have expected the response to just be, "Oh, hello, friends. It's been so long since
Yeah.
we've talked."
How are you? What are
How's
you
the
up
kids? How's the weather down there?
to?
Okay. So I'm gonna say to Rog, I'm gonna say to the party, Bart's in Deepholm, trying to prevent the elves from leaving.
Oh, I'm sure that's going real well.
So
Shit.
it sounds like all roads point to Depot.
Yes, that is true, but it is very far away.
It's at least a week-long journey. And the world tree is on fire as we speak. There might be nothing left by the time we get there.
A week long by what?
By
No. 2 weeks
dragon.
by feet? Yeah, a week by air, maybe. 4 or 5 days by air?
Oh yeah, because Deepholm is like the north of the mountains, right? It's like
North.
yeah, north.
I wonder if we could.
You spent a week on the
Teleport.
river from the bridge down to Walden, so
How big of a city is Whisper's Edge?
it's not very big. Population of maybe 20K.
Because I was thinking, I mean, we were able to teleport. Maybe we could, if we were able to teleport, maybe we can get up to Whisper's Edge quickly.
This city is rather large. Perhaps we can teleport at least part of the way and then either horseback or airship.
We're not, our kind isn't welcome in the upper city. And that's probably where they might have that kind of stuff. But we could probably talk to the Huntsman's Guild.
Mr. Waltendorf, was it?
Oh, right. We've got a dude who can probably do shit for us.
Would you be able to secure us one of the airships?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well then,
Well-
would you be able to teleport us by chance?
Where do you need to go?
Whisper's Edge. Well, or near it. Preferably not in the middle of it, because I
You see him
assume-
like thinking, and he's like, "I'm not familiar with that part of the country. I could send you to perhaps Sevicern or Vilgan. I've been there."
What about the mountainside of Deepholm?
Well, the only place I'm familiar with is at the end of the tunnel that you sealed off.
How long would it be on foot from Sevicern?
About a week.
Benjamin, can you teleport us to Whisper's Edge?
He kind of like looks at you and he's like, "I've never been there either."
Could you teleport us to where we summoned you when we fought that hand of the Demon Lord? In the forest? Because
It's possible that it still has a high chance of mishap.
I don't like that.
I'm going to. All right, guys. So, are we trying to go to Whisper's Edge, or are we trying to go to Deep Home?
Either or.
Maybe.
From where we're at, either would make the journey substantially quicker.
Maybe Bart can teleport us there.
Is that possible?
Although I imagine he would have to be here in order for that to happen. He can't do it. He can't pull us. Maybe, I don't know. He's over 10,000 years old. Let me ask him. I'm going to sending to Bart.
Okay.
I'm going to say, your last message got cut off. It's good you're helping the elves. Could you assist us in getting to Deep Home, maybe through teleportation?
You got 3 left.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's like, well, it'll take me a little while to get to a tree. Well, it'll take me a little while to get to a tree. Where are you?
Oh yeah, it's nighttime. Okay, I was gonna say, fuck, I'm using all my spells.
Come to find out, he's never been to Walden, so he can't do it.
I think we're about to find out that we're not near a tree, so we can't do it. I'm gonna say we're in the lower city of. We're in the lower portion of Walden City. In the city of the city of Walden.
That's it for your second message?
We're in the Broken Spirits.
Perhaps
He's
you
like-
should mention we could also get to either Seversberg or Boergenth.
He's
Oh,
like,
from the Lich King.
well, I can get to the bottom of the Forest of Whispers fairly quickly, but that's still about a day's journey or maybe 2 from Walden. Is that close enough?
Could we
Wait, is
have
he
the
coming
Lich
here?
King teleport us to? Oh,
Is-
wait, what?
He said he can get to the bottom of the Forest of Whispers.
Right.
He didn't say he can get us there.
That's where
You would have to
okay.
meet him there.
we
Yeah,
would
you,
meet him.
You need to meet
there.
him there. He can't just pull people through the ether.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. Once we get there, you can open a portal in a tree, though.
I mean,
I mean, the bottom of the Forest
Could
of
we-
Whispers is pretty close to Walden.
true. Could we? I was thinking the Lich King could teleport us to Sevisern, and then maybe he can teleport closer to Sevisern. But I mean, yeah, no, the bottom of the Forest of Whispers is still pretty damn close, so that might be our best bet.
You said a day or 2, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. And was that by foot or horseback?
That would be by foot.
I don't think we can get horses with our lowly status as non-humans.
They hate us here.
Ah, I see.
It's one of the reasons why we're trying to overthrow the government. Did we tell you that? We're trying to overthrow the government.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
All in service to that.
I mean,
Yeah, Mordai, how familiar are you with regicide and overthrowing and coups in general and all that fun stuff?
rather familiar. Devils, it's a state of living for them.
This guy's great.
This guy is great.
Oh, just a heads up, if you hear me or someone else yelling about having jelly or jam in their pants, that means just start killing everybody.
That is
Does
true.
it?
Yeah, I've got jelly in my pants.
It is one of the few notes I have actually taken.
It was
Fucking keyword.
it was designed for when we got to the lower city in case things went badly. We wanted to have a
Code phrase.
code phrase for, all right, let's stop trying to be diplomatic and murder fools.
I have three
Right.
separate notes. One is about jelly or jam, the other one is about whittle, and then the rest is all about loot. Those are the only notes I have taken.
I see Squeb's character, but I don't think I got character descriptions for Rog or Arindia.
Oh. I should make a Hero Forge token of my character.
Oh, right,
Uh,
because tokens, right.
So, Rog is a half elf, half Aarakocra ugly man. I'm a bard. I have a rapier and a harp and a war gong on my back. I also sometimes use a bow. Um, I
Squib
wrote my
likes
appearance
dogs.
somewhere, but I can't find it.
I forgot what you looked like.
Well, I have.
No,
I haven't seen my
also
reflection in years.
on the beginning of on the thing on the game on Roll20, you can see like that anime-ish picture
Yeah,
that
Oh, yeah.
has their portraits on it as well.
I would be the guy in red. I have like golden brown hair, golden
you look-
eyes,
You
and I
look like
have
Cloud.
not that yellow.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I have feathers on like my neck and my shoulders because I'm half Aarakocra, and it doesn't look good at all. And there's also feathers in random parts of like my arms and my legs and stuff, so I wear as much clothing as possible.
Yeah, so looking at the picture, he's the one on the left.
Randy
And
is the
then-
drow.
Yeah, Randy is the drow, which I mean sticks out like a sore thumb. And then there was a paladin, and I'm assuming the other one is a monk.
Yep. He was the shitter of the party, literally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He
would
kept
just
trying to fart on command and rolling a natural 1. And then he tried to burp on command and rolled a natural 1 and vomited all over the bar.
Torvis?
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, I've done some weird shit, but at least I haven't done that yet.
So, did we describe my character?
He sees it because we have the art that I had commissioned.
Gotcha.
Or I think he's seen it, I assume.
I saw it at one point. I don't know where it's at now.
I'm a 6 foot ish.
It's pinned in the general chat.
Oh, there it is. I knew he pinned it somewhere.
6 foot ish drow.
Oh, general chat.
Also loner.
What about
Bars for details. Carry a staff.
I mean, just kind of picture your basic, edgy wizard.
Basic spoopy sorcerer. Basic spoopy drow sorcerer.
Who has no memories.
Who has no I mean, I got a little bit now. A little bit
He's
now.
making memories.
He's getting some back. Slowly.
Usually,
I can't get over.
usually through trauma. It's fine.
I can't get over just how much Harold looks like Agent 47.
Yeah, right? Like a super stacked.
Yeah,
Super buff 47.
yeah,
Goliath, wasn't he?
he was absolutely yoked. Oh, I also have a beak. I forgot about that.
Anyway,
I see.
Yeah, so that's
This is a beak. It'd be
That's
hard
us.
to steal. My thoughts were we didn't have to purchase the horses.
Oh, you mean use a 5-finger discount?
Yeah. Because those of us with 5 fingers.
Do you not have 5 fingers?
True.
How far?
I do. I think we all do, actually.
How far of a how far by flight would the south tip of Forests of Whispers be?
Like the flight spell?
No, no. Well, by flying.
Well, it depends on what is flying.
Let's say a CR-10 or less dragon.
Well, you can
Alright,
fly. You can fly
2
for
of
an
us
hour
are dragons.
before polymorph falls off.
Yes.
And how
From
fast?
where you're at,
Yep.
probably for a young dragon, probably about 3 hours.
Okay, that's manageable. All right.
So are we?
You can cast polymorph 3 times.
I can cast polymorph
It's a 4th
more
level spell,
times
yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
man.
They
So
have
can
5th
I.
level spells. They both do.
They have what level spells?
They have
Fifth?
two 5th level spells at level 10.
For some reason, I heard 10th, and I was like, I don't think it goes that high.
So
It doesn't go to 11.
why didn't you just make 10 louder? The one of us has a map of Boergenth, right? We've acquired a map of Boergenth at some point.
I mean,
maybe
you
Rog.
stare. I have you staring at one right now.
No, I mean in character.
I would assume that Rog
Boergenth?
has one or has been drawing one since you started this campaign.
All right, cool. So we could discern from the map that we are a couple hours flight away from the southern tip of the Forest of Whispers.
Yeah, by young dragon flight speed, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Regular flying, like the flight spell, not even close.
No.
It's much slower.
No. It's yeah. Um.
And even adult dragons fly much faster than a young dragon. So yeah. And airships are pretty quick too. So I was curious what you meant by flying.
Oh yeah. I guess there's a lot of things that fly. Yeah.
If we stick around for a few more levels, Saizen can windwalk us.
with the necklace, right?
With the necklace, yeah.
But that would take a long time to get high enough level for that.
We also need to get Saizen some components
Diamonds.
to greater restore our friend back to fully himself.
Yeah. We need to go see a gem cutter so I can get those gems cut.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll find one in the lower city.
I don't think so either.
I believe the Craftsman's Guild said that they had somebody who'd be able to cut them.
That might work.
But when we were there, it was really fucking late at night, so.
Yeah. And our one person whose name we could remember wasn't there.
That was the Huntsman's Guild. I don't even know if anybody wrote down people from the Craftsman's Guild.
I remember there was Hammerhand, and there was a
Darius.
Drow.
Darius.
Okay, yeah. You
I was
wrote
about
down.
to say there was some consonants.
Good job,
and
Rog.
some
You started
vowels in
taking
his
notes at
name.
that point.
I just remember that one. I don't know how.
I was gonna be like, well, his name had some vowels and some consonants in it.
Yeah, good job, Squid.
So
You definitely should be the 6th intelligence barbarian.
Rog, what do you say we?
I could.
What do you say we dragging ourselves up and fly there tomorrow if we can get out of the city?
I think the sooner the better.
Well,
How
it's
spent are you?
nighttime right now.
It's evening.
Evening.
It's like 6 at night.
I mean, I probably have the arcane strength to be dragon long enough to get there tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, those
Worried for
multiple
what comes
sending
after.
spells are.
So if we waited till the morning, you just tell Bart to go there and then we go there, I think that's probably the best bet. Because that way, when we get there, you'll be all right.
I mean, before we go there, I need to be fixed.
How badly are you hurt?
I mean, my
Down a fair amount of con, right?
yeah, I'm basically down enough con to be down 2 points in armor class.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
huge.
So Squib would like to be fixed before we left.
All right.
So plans for
We rest here.
tomorrow.
We rest here. Tell Bart to meet us at the bottom of Forest of Whispers sometime later in the day. And then we go and get these gems for Sizan to cure Squib. And then we go there.
And the southern tip of Forest of Whispers is what we would be looking at, right? It's how far south it goes. It goes pretty far south, right, Ben?
Yep.
Okay.
Almost to the ocean.
Yes, I think that's
Is
a
that
good plan.
good plan?
I think that's a good plan. I think I'm
All
going.
right.
I'm going to sending before we go to rest one more time. I'm gonna reach out to Bart to let him know the plan for tomorrow, and so I will sending to Bart and say, we need to regain our strength tonight. We plan on flying to the southern. Oh shit! Wait. I can't just talk. Need to rest tonight. We'll be flying to southernmost point, Forest of Whispers, midday tomorrow.
Okay. He's like, I will be waiting.
Okay. I'm going to. So that's that. I'm going to sending to Maeve and say, working with Druid Bart on coming to Deepholm quicker than expected. Hopefully next day or two.
The response comes back. Well, they don't trust Bart, but hurry. I can't keep them from attacking for much longer.
I'm going to say back, we trust Bart, and we will be traveling with him to you, and then we will try to do what we can for the World Tree.
And I will see you soon, my beloved.
All right. I'm going to look at Rog. I'm going to say, I got anyone else that we have to talk to tonight?
Yes. Mr. Waltendorf. How well do you know this city's defenses?
Pretty well, I'd say.
If we were to turn into dragons in the street, for example, and then fly off, would we have to deal with any aerial defenses?
Well, the final airship might chase you.
Are we faster than it? How fast does it go?
Oh, it's fairly quick. What size dragon are you thinking of?
It'd be a young dragon, and we can fly 80 feet per 6 seconds.
We'd be a couple
Roughly.
of young
No,
bronze
160
dragons.
160 per 6 seconds because we can dash.
Yep. Yes, I believe it is faster than you.
All right, so we would have to leave the city first if
was
we
gonna
wanted
say-
no trouble.
Yeah, you want to fly out from the lower city?
It would be quicker if we could get out of here without anyone shooting stuff at us while we fly away. Yeah. Time is of the essence, especially because we have to go across the town to get gems for Squid.
That is true.
Do you know of any ways out of the city that don't require us going through guards, Mr. Waltendorf?
The wall is not defended.
The wall. Interesting.
We can just fly up and over.
Would we be able to do that for everybody? Because I can only cast mine once a day. Would you be able to do it for the 4 of you and then also be a dragon?
If I upcast it to 5, I could make 3 people fly, and then I would have 4 hours of being a dragon for the day.
We
Plus, you
need
could just do
4
this- you
people
could
to
do this-
fly.
But
You can do the same thing that you did with Squib and throw him in the bag of holding while you get
Oh,
out
true.
of the city.
That's true. Okay. I forgot we did that. Right. So if we did that, then we could fly over the wall, no problem, and still be a dragon for 4 hours.
Yes.
And carry everybody along the way, because I would take Squib and Mordai. Randy could take Saizen, because Saizen's heavy as shit.
Does this all sound logical, Mordai?
yeah, I'm all opposed to this plan.
All right. So, to review,
This-
we're going to go to sleep. We're going to get up and go to the Craftsman's Guild. And then we're going to, I suppose, walk to the nearest point of the wall. We also have to turn into dragons far enough away from the city to not garner attention.
Yep.
And I would think if we go over the wall on the east side of the city, we're obviously adding time because we would have to fly around the city.
Yep.
And the Craftsman's Guild is on the east side. Lucky us.
So we might have to tell Bart it would actually be closer to nighttime.
I'll leave earlier.
Or leave earlier.
Yeah, leaving earlier is logical. Okay.
You'd be hard pressed to get to him tomorrow. Because it's going to take you 8 hours to get to the other side of the city.
Oh, shit.
Then 8 hours to get back. If you come all the way back to the west side of the city. But even if you go outside, you still have to get far enough away to turn into a dragon.
And then we have to fly for hours.
Then you have to fly back.
Squib, are you sure we need these gems?
I mean, you probably not. Me, yes.
Well, Squib,
Well, we need you to be tip-top shape,
but
but
we're going
I mean,
to
unless
Deep
you
Home.
want to take the hits.
I really don't. That's not good. I have hollow bones.
We're going to Deep Home. They're like they're dwarves. They should be able to help us out with gems.
They might.
You assume we'll have time to go shopping when we arrive at Depot.
No, we just say, hey, we need a diamond so that this dude can be healthy again.
And then we can save your world tree.
Do we only need one?
We need a diamond worth 100 gold pieces. Is that what it was?
Yep.
1,000 gold pieces? 100 gold
100.
pieces?
100 for greater restoration, yeah.
Does the spell
How-
consume it?
How
Yep.
much? How much does the one that I currently have? How much is that one worth?
I don't know. You needed to write it down when you got it.
Convenient. It's
Did I-
worth
did I
100
write it
gold.
down? No, you didn't tell me the price of them. You just said they were about the size of a softball.
Oh, yeah, we-
Well, you haven't gotten those ones appraised.
Yeah.
If it's the size of a softball, that's got to be pretty fucking expensive.
Unless it's trash.
Could be trash. Could be trash.
How
Yeah,
about
those
this?
Those ones were in the vault.
Let's.
Do you know what would happen if you attempted to cast a spell with an unworthy diamond?
Probably wouldn't work.
But is there any risks?
I mean, that whole diamond would be consumed for the greater restoration spell because it's not split into smaller diamonds.
Yeah.
Because it says a diamond worth at least 100 gold points. So, like, it would take the whole thing for the spell.
I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with it to save 16 hours.
Squib wants shit. What was the Lich King's name again? He doesn't just want
Marvin Walpendorf.
Squib's gonna go, hey Marvin, would you happen to have a diamond on you worth 100 gold? I'll buy it off you.
I do not. I apologize. And Benjamin's like, I do.
Can I have it?
He's like, what? Why? What do you need it for?
It's a long story.
After having that mask on, I need some greater was it greater or lesser? I need some restoration.
Greater restoration, I think, is what you
To
want.
help,
That is
fix
the
my
reason why I
constitution.
carry diamonds. Do you have 100 gold to trade for it?
Squib will start counting out 100 gold pieces.
And indeed, he pulls out a pouch and he opens it up, and there's probably 100 diamonds in there, all about this
My
size,
God.
that are 100 gold each. And he pulls one out and hands it to you.
Squib will hand it to Saizan and be like, well, this is quote unquote useless to me.
Saizan's like, all right. And he just casts Greater Restoration, and voila, you are back to full strength. I honestly thought none of you were going to ask Benjamin if he knew how to do things with diamonds.
It was
Look, I'm
pretty.
new to this campaign, and Benjamin is new to me as a person.
That's fair. I didn't expect it from you, Marcus, but the other three.
It barely happened.
To be fair,
barely
Benjamin
happened.
is also an angel, so I just assumed he was able to just do things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He also could have broken the diamond you have into smaller pieces if you wanted.
Mordai is visibly facepalming. He's a celestial, of course. He can restore you.
I'm gonna.
Scoop's just gonna be like, not so long ago, I was just running people up and down the river and had a little scam on the side. I'm new to this shit.
I'm going to pull one of the 2 diamonds that I still have left from Deepholm out of my pack and compare it in size to the one that Benjamin pulled out, just to see if it's close to the 100 gold piece size.
Yes, they're worth 100 gold piece. Every gem you found in Deepholm was worth 100 gold pieces.
Hilarious.
Oh my goodness. You had diamonds the whole time?
The things you find out about your party, I just
Oh
assumed
my
you had sold
God.
them all.
No,
I
long
sold
have you
all of
had
mine.
that?
how?
You've had this the whole time we've been having this walking 8 hours across town, and
You mean you could have fixed me a couple days ago?
Mordai mutters about 15 German swear words.
Scoop
For the
wants
group.
to ask Benjamin if he knows how much the gems that he has are worth.
The big ones?
Yeah.
He takes one from you and he kind of like weighs it and he's like, depends on where you sell it, but probably roughly 1,000 gold each.
Wow.
Here in the lower city, you'd get stabbed for it.
Yeah, I plan on keeping those in my bag of holding.
You wouldn't be able to sell it for 100 gold here in the city because you're kobold.
Bunch of racist pricks.
Indeed.
Squib's a green kobold?
Yes.
Black and green.
Ah.
So we don't have to go to the Craftsman's Guild now.
Huzzah! Success.
I was about to propose we start walking now, but
We haven't even slept yet.
Now we can rest.
Well, hang on. I have one more thing to ask Mr. Waltendorf.
Okay.
Are there any other special tricks you know of that Miscus has in his military?
I think it's just numbers currently.
All right. And do you know of a way we could stop the automatons he has in the upper city? Is there a way we could just deactivate all of them at once?
No, as far as I understand it, each one is powered by its own power core. You have to disable each one individually.
Damn. All right. Keep that in mind.
And the power cores are in the castle.
No, they're in the automatons themselves.
Oh, gotcha. All
What?
right.
Unless anybody has something more pressing, we are a little past our time limit for the evening. We'll say you guys rest and get ready to leave in the morning. If that sounds good to everybody.
So we're just
It's fun
gonna
to
go
get
to the Forest of Whispers and then go to Deep Home.
I think that's the plan, yeah.
And then I don't know what we're gonna do from there because
I don't know what someone with fire magic, illusion magic, and no magic is going to do against a burning tree, but you know.
look, I have a little
We'll
magic.
burn that tree when we get there.
Listen, we got hands. We can form little buckets. We can find a nearby stream or something, maybe.
Against the 50,000 Inquisition soldiers that are there.
Yes.
I mean, somebody can turn
won't
into a
mind.
water elemental and just walk through the flames. It'll be fine.
I believe we cannot turn into a water elemental.
You don't have a druid on the team?
Shh, it's fine.
Well, those aren't beasts, are they?
No, but
The moon-
certain druid subclasses can turn into elementals if they're high enough level.
Yeah, Druid
really?
of the Circle of the Moon can turn into an elemental.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
That's what Keyleth is from Campaign 1.
No, WoW is a different subclass.
Oh my god. It is. That's true.
All right.
Alright.
Well, unless anybody has issues, we will aim for next week again and see where this journey to Deep Home takes you guys.
Straight to
Awesome.
hell. I hope everyone has backup characters in mind. We're all going to die.
Maybe.
No, I like this one.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I thought it was funny when you were like, "Yeah, no, I like to skulk around." I was like, "Is he playing another rogue?"
No, Ranger.
No,
But basically a rogue.
but with a bow.
All right. Well, I gotta go sleep.
Yep.
They,
Yeah, I should probably go sleep too. It was nice meeting you guys.
Yes, nice,
Yeah,
nice,
you
nice
too.
meeting you as well, Marcus.
I will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Sounds
Bye.
good.
Bye.
Yeah.
Later.